Hey guys, what up? It's the Tominator, and yes, it's finally almost here, the 2017 Mr. Olympia. So I wasn't really planning on making another video about this since I already did a pretty thorough preview last week. But I needed something to fill the gap, and I didn't really feel like talking about anything else. It just didn't feel appropriate with the Super Bowl of bodybuilding coming up, right? It's all I can really think about at this point, and I'm sure it's the same way with you guys. So anyway, if you haven't checked out that preview vid, you can go do so now if you're interested. But in this one, I just wanted to fill you guys in on some of the basic details in case you weren't aware. So first off, you can see most of the important information right here in this picture, taken from the official website. So the Olympia is taking place on Friday, September 15th. That's going to be the judging, aka the pre-judging, where they have them all go through the quarter turns and the mandatory poses and do the call-out comparisons. Then on Saturday the 16th, they have the finals, where they do their individual posing routines and bring them out for another round of comparisons, I believe, and then present the awards at the end. And note that the time there of 7 p.m. is Pacific Standard Time, because Las Vegas is on the West Coast, so if you're on the East Coast like myself, it won't be starting till like 10 p.m. And keep in mind that they also lump in the bikini, classic physique, and 212 divisions as well, so it's really 4 separate events going on there. And traditionally, they save the open bodybuilding division for the end. So don't expect to see Heath and all the rest until a couple hours in. And most importantly, that URL there. So that's where you can actually watch this. So like last year, Amazon.com is hosting a live stream. So just go to that link next weekend to watch the show for free. Now, if you remember from last year, The Rock announced that the 2017 Mr. Olympia would be broadcast on cable television on CBS. But if you try and Google that now, all the results are old and date back to last year's initial announcement. So it appears like there's been no word on an update there. So either The Rock was full of shit and talking out of his ass, the deal fell through, or CBS sucks ass at marketing. So either way, I recommend just watching the stream online since that is already confirmed. Alright, so here's the official competitor list, which they finally released. I don't even think they had this together when I made my first preview vid like 2 weeks ago, or last weekend I should say. So finally it's here though. We have official competitor list, and I've highlighted the names of who I think will crack the top 10 in no particular order. But yeah, most of these guys should come as no surprise. Rolly Winkler, who took 6th last year, I expect him to probably improve a spot or two on that placing this year. Nathan DeAsha is a bit of a dark horse since he was only 12th last year, but he's also very young, so as long as he's done his homework, he should do better here. Shawn Rhoden was 2nd in 2016, but I don't think he's going to do as well this year. I wouldn't be surprised to see him fall closer to 5th or so. Josh Lenartowicz came in 9th last year, and my guess is that he'll probably hover around that same position again, maybe move up a spot or two. Cedric, of course, is the reigning Arnold Classic champ, and I seriously hope to see him finally make the top 6 this year. Anything less would be a major letdown in my opinion. Mamdao Elsbai, oh god, I can't say his name, so however you pronounce it, it's Big Ramy. He's a shoo-in for the top 6, and I'd like to see him a whole lot higher than that. I think any lower than, say, 3rd this year would be a colossal disappointment for both him and his fans. Brandon Curry, I think, can easily make top 10 if he can even approximate his outstanding conditioning from the New Zealand Pro earlier this year. So if he brings that same package or even better, he's almost sure to crack top 6, I think. William Bonac took 5th in 2016, but I'm not really confident he can do much better this time around, so I wouldn't be surprised if he stuck around the same position or even dropped a spot or two. Dexter Jackson, what can you say? Of course, he's Father Time. He'll be right up there in the mix again in the top call-out, I think. And obviously Heath, the 6th-time reigning champ, needs no explanation. So here's a couple of guys who could easily squeak into the top 10 as well, especially if they nail their conditioning and some of these other guys coming a little off. So Lionel Bayeki could easily pull this off because with his lines and shapely muscle bellies, I could see him placing as high as 7th or so if he can actually come in somewhat shredded for a change. Victor Martinez, it was difficult to leave him out because he's a veteran and is pretty much always in the top 10. But remember, he was only 11th last year, and he's also getting pretty old, so it looks like he's starting to slip up a bit, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him remain just outside the top 10. But on the flip side, he could also land as high as like 7th or 8th if he puts it all together again. And, a couple of these guys coming off. So Max Charles is another guy who could do it. You know, this dude took third at the Arnold Classic in 2017 and looked really sharp there. So if he can duplicate that same level of conditioning, he could probably slip into the top 10 as well. The only reason I'm skeptical with him is because he looked a little bit on the smaller side in that show, and I'm not sure he's going to be able to hang with the big boys here at the Olympia. So that's more or less what I expect to see this year. And I know I said I wasn't going to do predictions, but what the hell, let's do it. So my prediction for third this year is Dexter Jackson. While I wouldn't be surprised if this was the year that he finally started to decline and fall outside the top 3, I'm also not counting him out either, and I gotta go with history here and give the Blade the benefit of the doubt. Big Ramy, I'm really rooting for this dude, and even though I don't think he has a serious chance in actually winning it because of politics and whatnot, he can definitely be the guy to replace Kai Green and push Phil and give him a run for his money. But I am being a little optimistic with this prediction because I'd say it's like 50-50 whether he nails it and finishes second or comes in slightly off yet again and lands in that 3 to 5 position. And once again, to nobody's surprise, I think Phil Heath is going to take this one and tie Arnold Schwarzenegger with 7 Mr. Olympia titles. So that would be pretty cool to see. So that's just a short and sweet little teaser and briefing for next weekend, just to kind of tide you guys over. I plan to make probably 2 videos then, one for the prejudging and one for the finals, and then probably another 4 or 5 videos when it's all said and done, all centered on the Olympia, rolling out in subsequent weeks because, hey man, this is the Super Bowl of bodybuilding, and it only comes once a year, so best believe I'm going to try and cover it to the fullest. Yeah, so I'm definitely excited and pumped for it, and I hope you guys are too. Until then, I'm the Tominator, signing off, and I'll be back.